What's up, everybody? What's up, YouTube? I am Sergeant Blake. I don't know why I just did that, but what's up? I'm Sergeant Blake. This is my first video here on YouTube. It should be my third, but every time I do a video, I always run into some problem. I'm hoping that this one makes it to, well, to you. This video is probably going to be on, no, definitely, because I just downloaded the new DLC, Resident Evil 5. First things first. I saw a video. I wouldn't have been making this video if it weren't for somebody else's. I totally forgot the dude's name, but he seemed pretty credible. He said he touched on were some pretty good things. He said a lot of people who are giving it poor ratings are comparing it to Gears of War, and it shouldn't be. And he said, he came out right out and said it should not be compared to Gears of War. It's not like Gears of War. It's Resident Evil. And I think that's totally correct. I mean, if you're gonna compare it to any game, you should compare it to Resident Evil 4 and not to Resident Evil 4 and not Gears of War. If you're gonna compare it to a next gen game, your best bet, your best idea would probably be to compare it to Dead Space. Dead Space and Resident Evil are, they're identical in the themes. They're really scary, some creepy shit's happening, and I mean, there's some other things. I'll touch on those in a little bit, but basically, Dead Space is the over-the-shoulder. It's the same gameplay, is what I'm saying. Over-the-shoulder camera, you shoot, and then your gun has a laser sight on it. So, technically, it's the same thing if you think about it gameplay-wise. Obviously, there are the differences in story and everything, and there's different ambiance, of course. I think, if you're going to compare the game to Resident Evil 4, it's not as scary. I mean, Resident Evil 4 wasn't scary. It had some creepy moments, but it wasn't scary. If you're going to compare it to Dead Space was scary as shit the first time. The first time through, but of course the second time you kind of forgot you kind of remember everything. Resident Evil's not like that, and I'm a little bit disappointed about that because of all the things that I was expecting of Resident Evil, besides Chris, big buff ass Chris kicking ass, was, I thought it was going to be a scary experience, and it wasn't. It was more of an action game like they said it would be, and, as much as I don't mind that, I liked the action. It was very good action, but it's just, I wanted it to be scarier. I wanted it to be, shit my pants with fear. And the only time I kind of got that was when I was playing on the harder difficulties, and I was fighting a boss like, not the last Wesker, but the first time you fight Wesker, it's a tough fight for one, and it's also pretty difficult, especially if you're playing on veteran. And I haven't even gotten to it on professional mode. But just don't compare the game to fucking Gears of War. Compare it to Dead Space or compare it to Resident Evil 4 is what you should be comparing it to. Of course, there's that whole switch in generations, but if a lot of people are saying Resident Evil is not as I forgot what the word was. I totally lost it, but not as innovative. There we go. As Resident Evil 4 was, and maybe it wasn't, or maybe Resident Evil 4 was just ahead of his time. Like, I actually enjoy Resident Evil 4. Some of the complaints that other people have, like, you're not able to, move while shooting. Like, you were never able to move while shooting in any Resident Evil game. It's kind of like a Resident Evil staple. And for them to say, you're not allowed to, and it pisses us off, it would change the game up so much, and it would make it a lot easier. Part of the game is stressful and frustrating, I'd say. I mean, I've never been frustrating because I always remind myself that's how it is. But you have to stop and you have to pop somebody. It's just different than it is in other games. Sure, you can move around in Gears of War. Sure, you could you can move around in a lot of third-person shooters. You could even move around in Dead Space, but they did it a lot better than I'd say in Gears of War. Because if you're gonna, I mean, I'm pretty sure it's the same way. I've never actually played Gears of War, so I'm not gonna make any kind of jumps like assumptions. But from what I've seen, it's not the same as it is in Dead Space. But for what I'm saying is that you shouldn't be comparing Resident Evil. I give it a 9 out of 10 because the game was good. I loved the gameplay, the story. It's a bit much. I mean, there's a bit like Resident Evil 4. Think about it. I think about it in terms of characters. Chris was an okay character. Chris was a good character, I'd say. Sheva, she seemed a bit cliche. She seemed a little too just a little too mild, if you ask me. Like she was this nice little girl who had a horrible dark past. Like she's just too cliche. And then she's also like, your whole squad pretty much gets wiped out at the very beginning. And then throughout the whole game, she's always mentioning, "Let's make a stand for our fallen brothers." That just sounds so cheesy, and it's just, it's not. It wasn't in Resident Evil 4. I don't know why they put it in this one. It's obvious, and that kind of bothers me. I mean, in terms of, I would have liked to see the game a bit longer, much longer, in fact, because like the last Resident Evil 4 was Dead Space even was 12 chapters, and Resident Evil 5 is 6. So, they cut it down almost halfway. It's half the length of the other game. There are some cool features. The weapon customization is awesome. The infinite ammo thing, I think it's a bit cheap for when you're trying to do harder difficulty things. Like you get 9 slots per character, and it just doesn't work for me because I'm a big fan of those weapons and I like using them. So you get 9 slots, and that's including ammo, health, guns. Each gun is a slot. Each stack of ammo is a slot, and its ammo goes up to a certain number, and then you open up another slot. Health. Weapons themselves, I think I said that already. And then there's always some type of vest that you can wear, like a melee vest to protect you from being hit, and then a ballistic vest or a bulletproof vest to protect you from being shot. Another thing, no, let me just get to the point, because this is what I actually wanted to talk about. Just downloaded the DLC. I'm $70 overdrafted on my bank card, and I was like, fuck it, I want to get the DLC. What's another $5? It's $5, and I played one round before I started the video. It's awesome. I won the round, but no, I liked it a lot. It was competitive. I don't know what it was, if it was Team Slayers or not, but I was shooting my partner, or I was either shooting my partners or my opponents. I don't remember, but I was shooting them. They were dying. I was kicking ass. It was going pretty well. I won by like 1,000 points. It was pretty lucky, but I killed zombies better than I expected it would be. I was kind of like the first time I was playing, I just set up my computer right here and I put my TV on and I'm playing, and like it was that good. Like I've never played. I mean, of course, I've never played Resident Evil Online, but like I'd never played it like that, and it's really good. If you don't have it, you should get it. If you're not a big Resident Evil 5 fan, then don't get it. But that's about it. This is my first video, so say hi. Once again, this is Sergeant Blake. I'll be doing more videos. This is the end of the video. I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hope you enjoyed it.